What up, peeps? Welcome back to Sweet Blogs. Welcome back to another Spanish lifestyle video. Today, we're going to be talking about culture shocks. I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some pointers. So if you come to Spain, I don't want you to be like, oh my God, what is this? What world did I step in? I wasn't told about this. Well, you're being told now by Sway what you're about to expect when you come to Spain that is going to shock you. You're going to be like, I'm not in Kansas anymore. No, you're not. You're not back in Kansas anymore. You're now in Spain. And it's a whole different world. So buckle up and get ready because it's going to be a wild ride. We're going to go down one by one of what I've experienced and what's been a culture shock for me living in Spain for the last 7 years. And some of those things are still happening until this day. They still shock me like, what? Are you serious? Like, I lived here for 7 years and I'm still finding out about this? Like, what? So let's just break down one by one. Food times. Scratch your food times. If you ate breakfast at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, scratch that off. That doesn't exist here. If you had lunch at 12 midday or past 1 p.m., scratch it off. Doesn't exist here. You had dinner at 6 or 7 and you were maybe pushing it to 8, scratch it off. That doesn't exist here. Really quick, let me break it down for you. Around 9 a.m., they'll have breakfast, light breakfast. Orange juice, coffee, a toast with some tomato on top, some jamon, olive oil. Boom, you're ready to go. That's it. That's breakfast. Lunch will be around like 2 p.m. and it will be a hearty lunch. Talking about your entree, your main dish, and your dessert. Coffee, wine, beer, whatever you name it. And it can take about 2 hours if you're dining with friends. If you're doing it by yourself, it can take maybe an hour and a half or so and whatnot. And no, the waitress or the waiter will not be on your neck. Like, can I help you with anything else? Can I get you some more water? Can I get you some more coffee? Is there anything I can do for you? Like trying to hurry you the hell up so you can get the hell out of the restaurant. No, they won't do that. They'll just be like, they'll help you. They'll give you the food. And then you kind of like leave you on your own little world. And then dinner is around 9 p.m. And you're probably thinking like, oh, what did they do around this like times when they're not eating? 9 a.m. is breakfast, 10 a.m. give and take, 12 noon, 1 p.m. is merienda time. Well, they'll have like some tapas or something out with friends or whatever, or just by yourself too if you want to. Around 4, no, actually no, not 4, around like 5-ish, 6-ish in the afternoon, they'll have another snack, another merienda, which consists of a bocata, sandwich, whatever you name it, beer, wine, whatever. And then around 9, 10 p.m. at night, it's dinner. Small, light dinner. Keep that in mind. It's not like some steak, some dinner, like, some big ass hamburger like you have back in the States. It's like a small dinner, which you'll see when you get here to Spain, like their dinners are really, really light and really small. Depending on the big cities, obviously the big cities are more Americanized in a way, I guess. They're more culturally like open and stuff. So you'll have some restaurants that will serve you like a big ass plate if you want to eat a big ass dinner before you go to bed. But anyways, that's food times, all right? Keep that in mind. Another culture shock is some places open only from 9 in the morning till 2, right? 9 in the morning till 2. From 2 to 4, 2 to 5, whatever they name it, they name their times. They'll be closed for business. They will not be open. There's no phone call. There's no phone service. There's no nothing. They're closed from 2 to 5, and they will not help you or anything until their reopening time, which is 5 to 8 or 5 to 9. Those times mostly exist like in the smaller towns. In the big cities, I really haven't seen that happen. Again, I haven't really lived in a big city in Spain, but I have visited and I really haven't seen that. But where I live here in Galicia, which is a smaller place, it actually is more common. You'll go to a place and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I need to go stop and get something to eat, or I'm going to go stop at the pharmacy or something like that. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, snap. It's 2:30. They're already closed. And you look at the time and like, oh, they're not open till 5. Bummer. Oh, snap. So you just kind of like, you have to deal with that. Another thing, talking about opening times, is some of the grocery stores will close around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. There's no 24-hour service here. There's no 24-hour Winco. There's no 24-hour Walmart. There's no 24-hour whatever your grocery store that you have wherever you live in and you're watching this video. They don't have that here. There's no such thing as a 24-hour grocery store. And some grocery stores will open on Saturdays from like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. and then close. And they will not open on Sundays. If you're thinking, I'm going to go grocery shopping on Sunday, wrong. Again, big cities, they might have some grocery stores open, but mostly the smaller towns, the smaller cities, they won't have the grocery stores open on Sunday. I live in a somewhat big city here in Galicia, which is Coruña, and they won't open on Sundays. Stores will not open on Sundays at all. There's no stores to be open. There's no 7-Eleven. There's no such thing as a 7-Eleven, a Dairy Mart, a Quickie Mart, whatever. There's no such thing as that opens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No, there's no such thing as that here. There's a little moms and pops like market, and they open from like 9 till 2, and that's it. And on Sundays they won't open. And I'm talking like this goes for everything. Like even the mall. The mall will not open on a Sunday. You're like, my dude, it's a Sunday. The mall should be open. The mall is open when it comes to like the food places, like the restaurants and the bars that are in the mall, like the food court is open on a Sunday. But the stores in general, everything else, bam, close, nothing. See you Monday. That's it. That's how they work here. So keep that in mind because that's another huge culture shock. Another huge, and I mean like huge culture shock. I mean, I've noticed in the US, but it wasn't as bad. In the US, people are, tend to smoke, right? There's a lot of people that smoke. There's nothing wrong with smoking. If you smoke, good for you. I don't smoke, but there's a lot of people that smoke and it's like, it's normal. But here in Spain, bro, like 4 out of 5 people smoke. Literally 1 out of 5 that doesn't smoke. You wherever you go, there's gonna be people puffing on the Magic Dragon. Well, I don't know if they're puffing the J or not, but still, they're smoking everywhere. Wherever you go, they're smoking. And they don't give a damn about secondhand smoke, and they don't give a damn about your private space. They'll smoking like you'll be walking down the street and they'll be like right on your face. You're like, bro, like what the hell's wrong with you, bro? Like you're trying to kill me over here? Secondhand like smoke, cancer over here? Like they won't give a damn. They'll just be up in there smoking stuff. There's no smoke-free set areas or designated area for smoking. They're trying to do that and implement that, but it's gonna be a long ways before it gets there. People here smoke. I mean, they smoke like you like. Remember back in the day when you used to buy a pack of gum and you used to be like, you put one gum in another one and another one, and you like all of a sudden it's like, damn, my pack of gum is gone already before the end of the day. Well, that's how they are here when it comes to smoking. They'll smoke a pack a day. Like that. I mean, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I've seen it happen. I've seen like people just like an hour later, half an hour later. I'm like, bro, like, damn, I just saw you in the last 3 hours smoke yourself like 6 cigarettes. Like, you okay? You're going through some things. You want to talk about it? Like, look, I'll buy you a drink, dude. But I mean, I've never seen a person die because they've been drinking a lot. I mean, drunk driving, but that's another thing. Anyways, it gets crazy. Like, get ready for that. Smoker heaven is Spain, right? And I'm talking about the J. I'm not talking about the green stuff. I'm not talking about puffing the Magic Dragon or anything like that. No, I'm talking about like cigarettes. Another culture shock you might be used to in the States as the J being like legal, right? Mary J is being legal now in some states, and you can buy it, occasionally, medically, whatever, recreational and stuff like that. You can buy the J, the green stuff. I'm not going to say I don't want to be banned from YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The green stuff, the Magic Dragon, the Happy Puffy, whatever you want to call it. They don't do that here in Spain. Oh, that's a no-no. That's illegal. They are barely starting to bring in the CBD and all that stuff, like barely coming in, but it's not like the strong stuff you guys had back in the States. Like that strong stuff don't exist here. Like it, yeah, no. That's another no-no. And if you have a medical issues and you have to have that, make sure that before you come to Spain, you get like a whole legal paperwork where it states that you need to have it, like some sort of medical paperwork that says you need to have it. You need to have this because of some chronic pains or something like that, because they'll give you some BS problems in the airport before you coming in because that's still considered illegal drugs here in Spain. That's a culture shock, right? Just letting you know, because I know in the States it's not that big of a deal. Here in Spain, it is. Another huge culture shock compared to the US now here in Spain is when they go out drinking, they don't go crazy drunk. They don't go blackout drunk like a lot of Americans do. Sad to say this, but I lived in the US. Believe me, I've experienced it myself. Where you go out with friends, like, yeah, we go, got effed up tonight, and you go crazy, you start drinking, and you black out, and the next thing you're like, dude, what happened, dude? Dude, where's my car, man? Like, no, that don't happen here. Maybe the young people do it because they're young, they're crazy, they're stupid. But like the older people, and even the older, younger, like 20s, going to 30s, like generation, they don't do it. They don't go bug wild crazy. I'm gonna black out tonight. We're gonna effed up, and no, that doesn't happen here. You go out social drinking, which is something that doesn't happen in the US, sadly to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I lived there was no social drinking like there is here in Spain. Let me put it into this point of view. Let me tell you a quick story. I went out with some friends, with my wife and my 2 kids. We went out to have lunch, right, with some friends, another family. We sat down, we ate. While we were eating, I asked for wine, like a whole bottle of wine. Between me and the homie, we drank the whole bottle of wine. All right, we were hanging out there, chilling, whatever, eating and stuff, drank the whole bottle of wine. And after we were done eating, they told us, hey, here's a little coupon for a free shot of your favorite alcohol drink. It can be, I don't know, whiskey, it can be whatever you want, across the street, the bar that we own. We're like, all right, cool. So we finish eating, we cross the street to the bar, we ask for a free shot. They have like coffee liquor here, which is really good. You should try it when you come here. And we had that. We sat down, we had it for free, we were drinking. And all of a sudden my homie was like, you done with that? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. You want something else? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, no, I got you. What you want? I'm like, all right, give me some whiskey. Whiskey on the rocks, whatever. He's all right, cool. Give me some 2 Jack Daniels. About 2 Jack Daniels. We hang out. We were talking. We were there. We started eating at 2 p.m., right? Keep in mind, it's now 6 p.m., right? We finished eating everything. We went to the bar. We're hanging out. That's another thing here in Spain, that people go out and enjoy life and enjoy their time with their friends. Went out. We're hanging out. We're drinking. All of a sudden, I finish that whiskey. He finishes that whiskey, and he goes, you want anything else? I said, no, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm fine. He goes, no, I got you. I'm like, no, we're good. He goes, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Just wait another shot of the coffee liquor. Cool. Waste another one. We stay there till like, I don't know, 7 p.m. at night. We finish. My wife says, I'm gonna drive. Yeah, babe, I drank. Go ahead. You drive. The other girl drove. I'm fine. I'm on my full senses. I know what's happening. I know where my wife is at, my kids are at. I know I'm walking. I'm not slurring my words. I'm not, yeah, we're getting fucked. No, we good. I mean, that is another huge culture shock for me here. You can literally go out with some friends, grab 2, 3, 4 beers at most, hang out and have a blast, and not have to worry about, I'm gonna go get crazy tonight. You don't need to get buck wild to have a good time. Like, that's another huge culture shock here in Spain. Keep that in mind, please. If you have that mentality, you're a young person watching me, you have that mentality of, I'm gonna get fucked up in Spain, I'm gonna go to Marbella, and I'm gonna go to Valencia and Ibiza, blah, blah, blah. You're just gonna give yourself a bad reputation, and you're gonna keep giving the Americans and the expats and the outsiders and the tourists this bad reputation that all Spanish people have, that you guys are drunks and you guys are disruptive and you guys come to Spain just to be disruptive and not care about the culture. So again, I'm letting you know so that doesn't happen to you and you don't fall in the mala list, in the bad people list. All right, keep that in mind. Sway is looking out for you. So another culture shock that you have here is pharmacies. Pharmacies are not in the grocery store. You know how like you go to Fred Meyer over there, you go to Albertsons, I don't know, whatever, CVS pharmacies, and you have like, a store and the pharmacy all in one, or Winco or Walmart, they'll have like a pharmacy on the side and they'll have everything, or Target has a pharmacy like integrated with it. No, not here in Spain. You have your grocery store, which by the way, in the grocery store, you have a full-on liquor store, because there's no such thing as a liquor store for itself. Like you have a full-on liquor store in the grocery style. Like there's like 2 or 3 aisles full of liquor. And I'm talking like strong liquor, wine, whiskey, rum, vodka, you name it, all kinds of stuff in the grocery store. It's not locked up. It's not like, no. It's like out there. You can look at it like, this is 40% alcohol. I like this. I'll take this one, That's another culture shock. Anyways, going back to the pharmacies. They have their own pharmacies where you have to go to the doctor and say, hey, I'm feeling bad. Can I have some, some whatever medicine? They'll give you a little slip. You go to the pharmacy, you give them the slip, and they're like, cool. Here's the medication that the doctor gave you, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to have a medical slip. You can go in there and say, hey, I'm not feeling good. I have a headache, or et cetera, et cetera. What do you recommend? And they'll give you some over-the-counter medicine, but it's their own thing. And they have their own hours, which sometimes they'll be open from like 9 a.m. to like 8 p.m. Or they'll be open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., close from 2 to 5, and then reopen from 5 to 9. And once they are closed, they're closed. You have to look online, which is the emergency pharmacy close to me. Oh, snap. The closest one is about 7 kilometers. All right, well, I guess I'm driving 7 kilometers to the closest emergency pharmacy, because there's no such thing, again, as a 24-hour pharmacy or a pharmacy integrated into a grocery store. That's another huge culture shock. Keep that in mind, because, you know what I mean? Another huge culture shock that you might be finding different from Spain to the US is there's places where you go and eat that have menu of the day, or menú del día, as they call it here in Spain, where you will literally pay between 9. I've seen it happen. So in the comments, you're like, there's no such thing as 9 euro menu. Come to my place. Come to Galicia. You'll find that. You can't find it where you live at? My bad. But where I live here in Galicia, you'll find 9 euro menus. But anyways, between 9 to maybe max 16 euros for a full-on meal, entree, main dish, dessert, wine, coffee, all that stuff for that price. I'm talking about some big portions, right? That you won't find in the US. Because in the US, you got to pay for your starters, and then you got to pay separately for your main dish, and then you got to pay separately for the dessert, and then you got to pay separately for the drink, and then the waitress will be on top of you like, are you finished with that? Can I take that for you? Like, and you end up paying like what, 20, 30, 40 bucks if you go by yourself to eat. Here, the most you're going to pay probably like 16, 18 bucks at the most for yourself to eat at Menú del Día. Another huge culture shock. I was just like, wow, for real? All this for like 16 bucks? All this for 13 bucks? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what the hell? Like, yes, that's another huge culture shock that you'll experience when you come to Spain. And the list can go on and on and on. I can talk about transportation. I can talk about there's no such thing as bumping music on your car as loud as you can here in Spain, because that don't exist. So nobody cares about your subwoofers or how much you're bumping, because that don't exist here in Spain. People don't care about how low is your lowrider or how high is lifted your truck, because that don't exist here in Spain. There's no such thing as custom vehicles that you can lower like the Fast and Furious, or some big ass 4 F-150s with some like huge lifts and off-road wheels. There's no such thing as that here in Spain, because there's another huge culture shock that you have to take your car every single year to be checked by the ITV, or the ITV as they call it here in Spain, that you have to pass some sort of tests and regulations, and they have to see if your car is eligible to be driven on the road. And they won't accept any customs that you make into the car. So there's no such thing as that here. There's no such thing as bumping huge ass music in your house and having a huge ass party like, yeah, we're bumping music. Some people do it and they'll get in trouble. But again, culture shock. I mean, like culture differences like that don't exist here. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain it. I mean, it's there's a lot of things. You won't find houses decorated like from top to bottom for Halloween or for Christmas. There's no like huge thing for Valentine's Day. They don't do parades for St. Patrick's Day. They don't do Thanksgiving. I mean, like there's just so many things I can go on and on and on about culture shocks. They'll just be like, dude, I'm flipping out. Like, that's how bad it is. I mean, like not bad, not bad in that bad way. Like, I mean, bad like isn't like a huge differential like when it comes to culture shocks. And I can ramble on here. I can make this video 30, 40, 50 minutes long, but why would I do that? I just want to share with you guys some of the culture shocks that I think that are important to keep in mind when it comes to here. And of course, one of the biggest one that I forgot to mention from the beginning is the language, right? You probably heard your Mexican friend, your Salvadorian friend, your Dominican friend, your Puerto Rican friend, your Latin American friend, hablando el español, right? Talking Spanish, right? You're probably like, yeah, güey, no sé qué tanto más, blah, blah, blah. You like all that stuff, right? Like, yeah, that's how they talk in Spain. In Spain, they will talk to you the Spanish they did try to teach you in high school. The vosotros, ustedes, vuestro, estáis, and all that kind of crazy Spanish here. That's another huge culture. If you're like, oh, yo hablo el español, yeah, you'll probably speak the Latin American Spanish, which is totally fine. You'll still get around here with that Spanish, but some of those words don't kind of click here, you know what I mean? So the language is another huge culture shock. You'd be like, what? And the English spoken here in Spain, it's the Queen's English. In other words, would you like a bottle of water? Like that. That's kind of the thing, you know? They don't say elevator. They say, oh, the lift. Yes. They don't say the trunk of the car. They say the boot or something. A lot of things, you know, that, again, culture shocks. I just want to share some with you guys really quick and really simple. I said it really quick and simple, even though the video is almost like 20 minutes long. Anyways, if you stayed this long on this video, I appreciate y'all. Like, I appreciate you guys staying here. I appreciate you guys following me here on YouTube. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if it's your first time here. Hit the little bell to be notified when I drop the latest and the greatest. Follow me on Instagram. Also, follow all my digital marketing ventures here on the description. If you want to make some serious cash while you're living here in Spain, get at me. All right, you guys. Peace. I'm out. Enjoy the weekend.